And what's going to happen? We're going to go about 23 minutes, and then I do like a commentary at the end.
Okay.
You can't hear the music there, but I do use glory.
Okay.
So. Good morning, family. This is Carl Gilliard. We're here in the studios of E93, and every Thursday morning, I get a chance to come to you live. We're taping live for a show that will air Sunday morning on E93 and Magic 103.9. It's called Word Up. And I want to thank you again for your attributes of listening to Word Up, the commentary, for the last 3 years. Because of you, now we have two 30-minute formats. So I want to come to you today. My guests will be Mr. Will Martin and Mr. Kareem McMichael. We're talking about the film industry, so I want you to stay tuned as we get ready to go on. What's up, family? This is Carl Gilliard with your Word Up on today. We're excited to be here in the studios of E93 at Magic 103.9, and we are joined here talking about something that you need to be plugged into. But first, before we talk about the subject matter, I want to thank all of you for making the success of the Mayor Floyd Adams Junior Bridge dedication a great success. I want to thank the Adams family, Kenneth and Christy and Miss Deborah Adams. Phenomenal turnout and phenomenal support. Now you can go to Bay Street off of 516, and as you come up from Garden City and as you go down back into Garden City, you're going to see the Mayor Floyd Adams Jr. Bridge. Thinking about bridging, we're talking about bridging the film industry today. And many people are hearing all the different films that are coming to Savannah. Well, I say that today I have as guests the Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis of the film industry. I predict they're going to be, and they don't have to worry about Janet Jackson being in control. But we've got with us my good friends, Mr. Will Martin and Mr. Kareem McMichael. Gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do mean that. I mean, you guys are phenomenal. The film industry is booming in Savannah. And a lot of people years ago, people talked about Atlanta, and they said, Atlanta, we're going to be the Hollywood of the South, and Atlanta laughed. And I think we were number 5 then. Now we are right there on the cuff. I think we're number 1 in feature film, but we're right on the cuff of being 2 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
So Will and Kareem, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Carl. And to kind of piggyback off what you said, the film industry has really taken over statewide. And we can wholeheartly point that toward the film tax incentives and the things that state government has done on the state level. But and Savannah is really, really booming. It's a job market that hasn't traditionally been looked at, especially in the African American community by different folks. But it's very lucrative, and it's something that is really taking off. So we're glad to kind of be in there on the level that we're at, but we always want to move up. So.
Well, you guys are doing great things. I see one. I'm going to see the other. I'm hearing. I'm seeing all of the film festival awards and all of the accolades. And now you're getting people. I saw my good friend, former newscaster Courtney Cole, who we missed, who was in the film. I said, well, she can do it. Anybody can. But you're doing some great things. So Kareem, tell us what you think about what's happening with the film industry in Savannah.
Yeah, I think it's really huge. The crazy thing, I graduated in 2009 from SSU, and so I thought back then when I graduated, my major was broadcast journalism, that I would have to move away, probably to Atlanta, because Savannah, there were movies flowing off and on, but it wasn't really huge. And so within 5 years of me graduating, so from 2005 to about 2013, it was just like the switch went off. Mm-hmm. And now every year consistently, there have been projects here, and so being able to be on the front end too of getting connected into that, and opening up resources hopefully for the community to get connected to that has been really amazing to see it unfold. And I hope it doesn't go anywhere. Thankfully, because of films like Forrest Gump, Midnight in the Garden of Good and of Evil, Savannah had already had a film office, a pretty strong one put in place, mm-hmm. and the city's really behind that as well. So it's really helping that continue to grow and to increase, but it's really also too about making sure that the community loves it and is involved with it, because it goes both ways. We have to have buy-in from the government and buy-in from the community to be able to make it a successful thing, because everybody can benefit from it.
And I want to say, you know, we talked about earlier, and I'll digress. We're talking about movie premieres. You had a chance to go to Black Panther.
Yeah.
I was a little bit under the weather. I didn't get a chance to go. Tell us about your experience.
True. Oh, well, I didn't get to go to one in Atlanta, though. But I did go to one here. And I could just speak from movie experience, you know, even some of the ones they had in Savannah for some of the films that were filmed here. Amazing experiences, or even going to the Savannah Film Festival, and when they bring in, you know, the stars, you get to see some of the stars of the movie there. They do a Q&A, answer questions, you get to take photos with them. Just the magnitude, too. The other real special thing about it is, though, everybody that worked on that film was pretty much in that room, or a lot of people who did. So you get to see your colleagues who were, you know, doing grip and electric, people who worked in craft services, people who worked in catering, some who worked in the art department, some who worked in transportation. Again, all these different construction fields that people don't think about.
That's what I want to really talk about, because people have the perception that film is just acting when it comes to these movies. They're coming to our cities and they're empowering those cities. LaGrange, Georgia, what's it, The Walking Dead? They have built parks and businesses and empowered the economy. Give us a script. Kareem talked about some of the services that they need for a film.
Well, okay, so basically when you get a film and you get a budget put together, you got a breakdown, and you got above the line people and below the line people. And so your above the line people are your actors, your director, people that have a set price, like you hear Will Smith has made $20 million per film.
Wow. Only 20 million?
You know, just only 20 million.
Wow.
But you know, that's shooting toward the high end. But you know, you normally get your above the line people that make money. But what's not talked about in the film industry are the below the line jobs. And we're talking about everything from security guards, we call them crafty, but food services, catering services. You know, I know a bunch of different people that work in catering in the city of Savannah. And we're talking about transportation. Transportation is a big need, especially in the Savannah film scene. So just about every job that you could possibly think of is a job opportunity in the film industry. You know, you don't just have what's going on set, you have an office. Every film that goes into production has a film office where you need everybody from administrative assistants to people answering phones to people making copies and people running errands.
So there's an opportunity to make revenue, to have a career.
No matter what you do as a profession, there's construction, carpenters, welders, logistics, people moving items from one place to another. There's every opportunity that you can possibly think of. There's an opportunity in film for that.
And you know, we're talking with Will. We're talking to Will Martin, the Will Martin, and the Kareem McMichael. I'm gonna tell you, as I was talking, you saw me blow a little kiss. It was Tanya Milton just walking in from Savannah Tribune. Incredible. But I have to mention that. But one of the things is that the perception of I can't make it in film in Savannah. You all came through the ranks, education, moving up the ranks to get the grade, to get the degrees, to get the certification. Tell us about your journey in that, because a lot of people have the perception, I got to go to Hollywood just to do this. And through the inception of what you have done, we're just on the little parable compared to what you're going to do. Tell us what you have to do.
It's really there was a real sense, I think, for both Kareem and I coming out of undergrad at Savannah State that we would have to ultimately leave and go to New York, go to LA, go somewhere to really pursue film as a career and really, you know, make money at it. I mean, you know, we want to eat. We want to pursue our passion at the same time you want to eat. You want to put, you know, food on the table. So there was a real sense that you would have to leave to do that. And then, you know, like I tell people all the time, next thing you know, we looked up and the film industry came to us.
Yes. And
so at that point, it's on you to get up off the couch and go out and see what was out there and what's right there in your front yard. So the journey was, while not seen at the time, you looked up and it was there, and you had an opportunity with the Georgia Film Academy coming to Savannah Tech, and the industry booming here and different things happening to really insert yourself into a booming film industry locally.
So you
And well, I was just gonna, and I guess as a part of that journey, and it was strange that by the time Will and I met and got to know each other, because we went to Savannah State at separate times, his classmates were doing the same thing I was doing a few years later. They were making short films themselves, making TV shows and all these things on campus. And I was doing the same when I was in school, or prior to that, I actually had got my uncle's video camera, and I was shooting like family vacations and filming things. So it was really this thing we knew we wanted to do all along, and we was putting in the work even without having really the access to, Hollywood film crew being here, or for that matter, even the capital to make it. I was running around with a camcorder on mini DV tape. We were filming projects back in, the early 2000s. And so it was really just bringing what we had already been doing over into, now we, have the education to back it, so we know a little bit more of the official things. And then really, too, at this point, as bad as some people still want to go away, being able to produce your own projects here. You have the resource.
we have the resources here in Savannah.
Yeah.
We have the scenery, we have the facilities, we have the capabilities. Technology has changed.
True. People are filming whole movies, some features on their phone.
Yeah.
And some people think, it's about having the Reds and the Black Magics and some of these best cameras. I'm not knocking. Great equipment. Love them.
You talking about my Canon that Will recommended?
But even with the Canon, but like you said, it goes, and that's where, like I said, the education part come in. Don't get me wrong, when I was running around filming my family vacations, I didn't know very much about lighting except for to make sure that at least the sun is shooting, people this way.
People of color never wear white on camera.
Things like that I did not know.
Yeah.
So you gel that with, again, all the stuff that we were doing. You could create your own beautiful pieces of art.
There's so many avenues of what you all have done in the inception that you've taken from just what you've had. You work with the Savannah Technical College Film Academy. You work with Savannah State. You've done many, from documentaries to short films. There are possibly aspiring persons that are saying, I want to get involved. What are the 1, 2, 3 steps of what they need to do now to start mastering their craft?
What people don't understand is everybody has a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
So you start with a story to tell. Everybody, I've seen everybody from little kids on up to grown people. You have a camera in your hand every day. The level of technology in these cell phones is amazing. I know, some filmmakers have shot entire films on their iPhone.
I agree.
Put it together.
You mean we can do something more positive than saying being on Facebook killing each other?
Right. If you people and you already do it kind of maybe in the wrong sense. Like if you see something happening, whether it's an act of violence or something good or whatever. I've seen people trying to help the homeless and they turn their camera on. But when you see a good story to tell, you turn your camera on and you share that. My camera's on right now. I'm on Facebook.
We're talking about the good news.
Because it's good stuff happening. So you're telling stories, but all you have to do is use your imagination and tell your own story. So you start with a story to tell. You start with a what we call a medium, a phone, a camera, anything. And you go to work and you just do your film. Now, it could be good, it could be bad, whatever, but you do it. And you let other people be the judge of that.
True.
But you do your film, you just go do it. So it's really an easy 1, 2, 3 step, and that just starts with you getting out there and doing it.
We're talking to Will, Martin, and Kareem. You had something to say?
Just one small nugget to add to that too. In that step 2 part, when you do get your equipment, build a strong team. It doesn't have to be a 30,000, strong team of 300 like Leonidas in the movie and stuff. No. I know when I was in college, it was probably about me and 2 or 3 other main people. And even after I graduate, people get families and move on and things of that nature. And though we're still friends, form a new crew. Surround yourself by those like-minded people like Will and I and other people who will dive in there, who will put their best foot forward, get the work done. And then after that, like you said, put it out there and let other people be the judge. Film festivals is one huge way to do that. Host your own screening. Get your, the community together. Like, look, I made this. I want to show it.
And we're making history. We're making history, and we're not recording history.
True.
I'm amazed. There's some footage from Penn State University. We actually SCLC put in a suit against them because it's really our property here in Savannah. But they have a thing called The Right Stuff. It is films of Reverend Dr. Jose Williams, Ben Clark and those in Savannah, that they were in Savannah. They were registering people to vote. It is footage that I don't even know how they did it camera-wise. But Reverend Williams is taking you on the journey of what they're doing in Savannah to register people to vote. Someone got the footage from a trash can or whatever. Penn State got it, edited it, and it's called The Right Stuff. It's powerful. In the late 50s, around 1956, 57 in Savannah. The footage, the vocals are crystal clear.
Wow.
So we're making history. We got to record the history.
Right.
And this is footage now, probably worth millions of dollars. But they've got it. They just named it The Right Stuff. They didn't even know what they had until we approached them about it. So we're talking to Will Martin and Kareem McMichael. We're talking about the film industry. We're talking about the way to get involved. We're talking about putting your dreams into a vision in reference to action on those cameras or those phones or whatever you have. But more so, the big thing is, how do they get plugged into the industry? How do they get plugged in? And when a film or a cast comes, or
Sure.
You got casting calls and all the above.
Right.
I guess there are a variety of different ways, and that's the thing. I know we were talking about some earlier, Carl and I. A lot of it is not in newspapers, but either TV and a lot of it is social media now. And then also it's who you know. So there are a few combinations. I would definitely say try Facebook. There's a lot of casting groups. Savannah Extras Casting, Savannah's Actors Pool, Savannah Crew, and something pool. If you Google like Savannah and Film or type it on Facebook, if you're on social media, trust me, all of these different things will pop up. Actually, if you contact me at, I won't give out my phone number, but if you contact Karmac, KarMacent at yahoo.com, I do not mind. I have like the links already up, so I can just send those things to you. Or if you go to ssuindiefilmfest.weebly.com, there's a page on there too. It has all these links to social media. Follow the Savannah Film Office. I cannot stress that enough too.
Yes.
Follow the Savannah Area Film Office. Every crew and casting call that comes through anything in this area, so that's all the way down to Brunswick, as far up as I think Rican, Guyton, and a little bit above in Port Wentworth and stuff, and as far in going near Statesboro, follow the Savannah Area Film Office. They have all that information there. Also, if you, like I said, if you go through the Georgia Film Academy, if you choose to go through that program, which is a great, another resource, go there, take the class, get to know John, Grace, and those people because they're connected as well. And once you start working on one or two sets, though, trust me, after that point, they're kind of just start calling you. So once you get your foot in the door, but I think I would say those are the initial steps, is searching the internet and social media, but really following the Savannah Area Film Office.
And I want to give kudos to the Savannah Economic Development Authority.
Oh, yes.
And CEDA. Most people, and I won't say these initials, and most people might not even know it, right here in Savannah, SEDA, CEDA, Savannah Economic Development Authority. I think our good friend Kevin Jackson is the chairman. The one powerful thing that's happening is the money that they put into the film industry in reference to the commission. They did a buy-in. They went out and tried to recruit those movies and all the above. So there's a story of a young man that was working on my campaign, never got a contract, had a culinary company, was serving fried fish. That day, everything went wrong. The fish, the oil fell over, the coleslaw, everything went wrong. He got it back together. He got a contract. His first contract was with a film in Savannah. He made over $60,000 dealing with one contract cooking for that cast. So if you're in culinary, if you're in cosmetology, from makeup to haircuts, construction, transportation, Savannah tours, they're booming. If you ride down Louisville Road, you're going to see lots of vehicles. They're servicing those films. So if you're in the business of transportation, there's an opportunity. So lots of opportunity.
Real estate.
There's a ton of opportunity.
Real estate.
Yeah,
there you
true.
go.
If you have locations, they're looking for a lot of
I
housing.
just had a friend about
Location.
Disney. Disney just approached them about using the facility out in Garden City. So and now they're looking at doing a film there in Garden City.
So, and like Kareem said, the Savannah Area Film Office is, go to their website, put down your information. There's a place you can go to put your information down. Their job is to hook up films and people that are already in Savannah if you can do something and the film needs something, the Savannah Area Film Office will bring you two together.
Great.
In addition to that, one thing that I think Savannah lacks that Atlanta has in abundance is what we call sound stages.
Okay. Will that be for the TV shows and all the above?
This is for TV shows, what we call episodic television, like Underground.
Okay.
And also for major films like Marvel loves locations here.
Marvel is booming.
Yeah.
In the ATL right now, we need Marvel to come to Savannah. We spend a lot of money through the state of Georgia. And here again, going back to Ron Stevens and the Economic Development Tourism Committee and the governor, put a lot of money and resources into Marvel Studios staying in Atlanta and filming.
And the reason why Marvel loves locations in Savannah. Savannah is, has just about everything you want. You want the beach, we got it. You want forest areas, we got it. You want a historic look, we got it. You want but we had a film shoot downtown. They made it look like New York, but it was cheaper to film here.
Rain and all the above.
Right, you got whatever you want here. However, the reason why Marvel doesn't choose to shoot some things in Savannah is because we don't have a soundstage.
And with that, what we need is the space, the big warehouses.
Right.
That's why at one time, of course, they were talking about the Coastal Empire Fairgrounds, and another times we were talking about areas that were warehouses and cooler.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, family. With the film industry, if we had these sound studios, these sound stages, we would be able to do more TV shows, more movies, more opportunities, and the proliferation of the number of people you see walking down the street, celebrities every day, just like Atlanta. Everywhere I go, I see somebody. So, and then when you have celebrities and you have resources coming into your community, like in LaGrange with Walking Dead, they can put money back into the community.
Right. And so a lot of that, first that has to start with local government buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
Local government has to make a commitment to bring in those type of facilities, that kind of buy-in to the film industry. It's been done on the state level.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that could be done on the state level, I think is being done. I think the buy-in has to come in on the city level to get that type of commitment to the film industry, because it's doing miracles for the economy. We're talking about an industry that made like $9 billion for the state of Georgia last year. And I feel like Savannah could be a bigger piece of that pie with additional facilities, because you see what we got going without a sound stage, without sound stages.
And it takes investors, it takes developers. It's just bad that I have to bring developers from outside of Atlanta, from DeKalb County, to come in here to talk about building an international center. We've got 300,000 acres in Garden City in reference to commercial real estate that's privately owned. So it's waiting for you, to get those investors to come in and build some warehouses. The film industry has specific diameters.
True.
In reference to the height and width and all the above.
I did say something about the fairgrounds, but because it was, I'll just piggyback off what he said. Local buy-in from local, because the fairgrounds were really ready to be there, but it was really hurt when they did not approve. I'm just going to say it like that.
Can I jump in on that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. What happens is, and I think what happened, and kudos to my comrade and Representative Craig Gordon. What happens is when the community is not privy of it, or is not connected, like we're talking about it now, we're educating the community, they might not have a total understanding.
True.
So when you come into their community and say, I'm going to build a new community, they say, what are you talking about?
Right.
Nobody told me this and that. So it was a great idea, and I think with the persistence of Representative Gordon, I think it's going to happen somewhere. But I think what we're doing now, and I've talked to members of Savannah Economic Development Authority and said, we got to educate our community that it's more than just actors and actresses, that the film industry is a lot more broader.
True.
You have some descriptions of production managers and different positions.
Location scout, like I said, we could stay all day. Like you said, you saw how long the credits were to Black Panther and the event. We could stay all day talking about when we are stressing almost aspects of any industry you could think of goes into making a movie.
Yes, I was sitting there, and I'm sitting there. We were sitting back waiting on the credits. 5 minutes of the credits.
Yeah.
So, it's happening right now, and we're in the House of Representatives, and we're getting these producers and all the above to come into, our midst to talk about what they do. You all had a chance to meet with the governor. He appreciated your work with the film, the Film Academy, Georgia Film. I just want to give kudos to what you all do and what you have done in the short period of time. And I know the greatness is coming. If there is one big thing that you can appeal to the community or support for what you do, what would it be? I know you said the sound stage.
Right. I wholeheartedly for the community, I think there has to be a buy-in by the citizens as a whole. Because when a film is coming to shoot in your city, there's a level of hospitality that is almost necessary for your film to be successful. At some points, there may be some inconveniences. A sidewalk may have to be blocked, or they might be using a street that you need to go down there, so there's a detour. While they were shooting underground, the people, some citizens in Savannah had a problem because they needed to remove some of the Spanish moss from the trees and the squares. But they don't realize that, one, the Spanish moss is coming back. It's not going nowhere. Yeah. You're not going to do without Spanish moss.
I just put it in my shoe and
right.
A little arthritis. Arthritis.
It's going
put
to
it in the back of your shoe. It works.
Secondly, the amount of money that films spend in the local economy is so big. Hotels, restaurants, feeding the crew, transportation. The amount of money that is spent in the city is so worth a minor inconvenience in your day. Or, there was a situation out on Tybee where a couple of parking spaces had to be blocked off. And it's just
it's inconvenience is fine when you're talking about economics.
Right. But they're spending money on Tybee. They're doing things for the economy. They're helping out. So, just some minor buy-in in the way of hospitality. It might be a minor inconvenience for a couple of hours, but... And
now we got the Baywatch Beach because of the film industry.
Exactly.
That's a plug for you, Jason, out there at Tybee. So what would you say would be that one thing?
Okay, well, I'm going to try to jam two into one. One is the films are filming in your community. Find a way to make the films work for you in your communities. Films have filmed all over this country, and if your community you feel like is not, getting the true benefit or, better end of the stick with them being there, talk to the Savannah Area Film Office and other people to really understand, what's going to be going on, why the film is there, and then what ways, can your community really benefit from the resources it's bringing, whether, like you said, they need crew people to work on it. I don't know, maybe you need a community center or certain things done better after films leave, which some films have done. There are ways to really make it work for your community. And the second thing is, I would say, is get out there and just tell powerful stories. One thing, thank you for, both of you, because you brought me on the, to do the documentary for Feed the Hungry. Tell powerful stories. I love nonfiction. I love telling true stories. I also love fiction, but I love to be able to tell the stories of real people who are opening doors, making a way for people in the community. So tell stories, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. Get out there and tell stories.
Mr. Will Martin and the great Kareem McMichael, we're going to bring them back and we're going to let them give you an update as to what they're doing, especially there's a casting call they're going to be doing on a feature film that they're working on, and we're going to make that a major announcement. We want to get you involved. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming.
Carl, we want to thank you for, not only for this, but for what you do statewide for everybody. Thank you.
True.
Thank you, man.
Opening doors.
Thank you. And with that, I get a chance to do, this is not my Jerry Springer part, but this is the part that I get a chance to just come to you, and I want to talk to you about being a part of the solution. Don't just sit there, do something. When I was growing up, there was a part on a TV show where the evangelist turned to the TV and he said, don't just sit there, do something. 3 murders in the last couple of days. Don't just sit there, do something. I mean, we've got constantly people, lives are being taken, and people are sitting up and they're saying, oh, my, and talking to Facebook. Don't just sit there, do something. We got the farmers market getting ready to come up and be revitalized in reference to an opportunity to invite our farmers back to a beautiful place on Highway 80 in Garden City. Don't wait and look at what's getting ready to happen. Be a part of it. Become a vendor. Help volunteer. We're posting on Facebook. We need volunteers. We need people to get involved with your farmers market coming on the 18th of August. We're going to kick off a series of festivals from 9 to 5. Don't wait and see about it, be about it, get involved. Call that number, 912-436-5325. Carl, how can I get involved? On August the 10th and 11th, I have 6 consulate generals coming to Savannah, Georgia, from Canada to Hong Kong to Japan, different individuals coming from different countries to come to Garden City, to come to the city of Savannah, to come to Pooler, to merge with 5 municipalities from Tybee to Brunswick, Pooler, Garden City, and the city of Savannah. How can we do industry, trade on a global level? Don't just sit there, do something. Give me a call, give me a shout out. We'll be right back here on this Sunday morning at 6 a.m. on Magic 103.9 and E93 with your word up. I'm your boy, Carl Gilliard. God bless.
Hey.
We're out.
Hey, how you doing? I'm good. Hello, how y'all doing?
You know, I did a shameless plug for Savannah Tribune because I was sitting up there.
How are you?
And I said, Jen,
How
what's
you
going
doing,
on,
sir?
man?
How's everything?
Good, good. Howard
Tanya
has walked in
Milton.
the room between Tanya Milton.
How you doing?
So she
Good,
comes
nice to
in,
meet
she
you.
said, and I do this, I'm on
Kareem, nice
counter.
to meet you.
too.
And so I
Wilmar.
said, just to let you know, that was Tanya Milton that came in. She didn't with Savannah Tribune.
Y'all, let me tell y'all,